Standard Rinnegan. The Rinnegan, 6 concentric rings glowing in a deep violet hue, is more than a dojutsu. It's the Eye of Gods. It first appeared in the legend of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the Sage of Six Paths. Born from Kaguya's divine chakra, Hagoromo inherited powers beyond human comprehension. Among them, the Rinnegan stood at the top. This eye could see chakra networks with perfect clarity. It didn't just track movement like a Sharingan, it could trace chakra flow like a map. Anyone with a Rinnegan could master all 5 nature transformations instantly, something that takes regular shinobi decades. But that was only the surface. The Rinnegan unlocked the secrets of the Sage's stone tablet, a tablet that even the Sharingan couldn't fully decode. With the Rinnegan, the truth of chakra, war, and the 10 tails was laid bare. But what truly made this eye terrifying were the 6 paths techniques. Each path granted a new dimension of combat. The Diva path controlled attractive and repulsive forces. It could flatten villages in seconds with Shinra Tensei or create miniature moons with Chibaku Tensei. The Asura path turned the user into a living weapon. Extra arms, missile launchers, saw blades, you name it. The human path could read thoughts with a single touch, but it came with a price. The soul would be ripped straight out. The animal path summoned giant beasts, each more bizarre than the last. Some were invisible, some could multiply endlessly. The Preta path absorbed chakra like a vacuum, nullifying ninjutsu in an instant, and the Naraka path could summon the king of hell itself, a monstrous head that judged truth and restored the wounded. But there's one more. The outer path. Only those who truly mastered the Rinnegan could use it. This path allowed resurrection. It could bring the dead back. It also let the user control black chakra rods, command the demonic statue of the outer path, and even restrain the 10 tails. It was also the key to dispelling the infinite Tsukuyomi, the strongest genjutsu ever cast. For a second, 1 like equals 1 chakra orb for Hagoromo. 1 subscribe opens another timeline where Madara finally wins the war. So, what timeline are you choosing? If this video leveled up your ninja knowledge, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell like it's a summoning jutsu. We've got more god-tier breakdowns coming. Sharingan, Jugan, even Shibai Otsutsuki's divine powers. You don't want to miss that. And hey, comment your favorite Rinnegan user below. Let's see whose fanbase is strongest in the comments. Now, let's look at the legends who used this eye. Hagoromo didn't awaken the Rinnegan like an Uchiha or through transplant. He was born with it. His eye was pure, natural, divine. With it, he became the first shinobi. He combined the power of yin and yang to create ninshu, the foundation of all jutsu. Using the Rinnegan, he sealed the 10 tails inside himself and became its Jinchuriki. He also mastered every single path. He could summon souls from the afterlife, heal the gravely wounded, and shape truth-seeking orbs. Gudadama, that could erase anything they touched. His mastery wasn't flashy. It was absolute. Madara's path to the Rinnegan was long and twisted. After implanting Hashirama's cells into himself, he waited decades for the eye to awaken. Only in his final years did he gain access to its true power. Even then, he saved it for the future, giving his eyes to Nagato as part of his resurrection plan. When Madara finally returned during the 4th Great Ninja War, the world trembled. With his Rinnegan, he used Limbo, shadow clones that existed in an invisible parallel plane. These clones could strike from another dimension, and only those with 6 paths powers could detect them. Naruto could sense them. Sasuke could see them, but everyone else? Completely defenseless. Madara also used Chibaku Tensei on a godly scale. He summoned not 1, but multiple meteors. Entire battlefields were crushed under his gravity manipulation. Madara wasn't just using the Rinnegan. He was redefining war with it. Nagato received his Rinnegan from Madara as a child, though he didn't know it. With the blood of the Uzumaki clan, he had the life force to wield such a power. Later, he became known as Pain. Using chakra receivers, he controlled 6 corpses, each representing a different path. Together, they were known as the Six Paths of Pain. Each body specialized in one Rinnegan technique. Through them, Nagato fought like a god. He destroyed the Hidden Leaf Village with a single push, wiped out countless shinobi, and even brought the dead back to life, including Kakashi, using the outer path. He operated from the shadows, hidden miles away, sending his will through the black rods. This strategy gave him perfect battlefield awareness. Every path shared their vision, giving Pain an almost unbeatable edge in combat. He didn't fight alone. He was an army. Tomoe Rinnegan. Sasuke's Rinnegan is unlike any other. It's not a pure Rinnegan, like Hagoromo's. It's not transplanted like Nagato's. It's a fusion, a mutation, a divine gift from the Sage of Six Paths himself. Infused with the blood of the Uchiha and the legacy of Indra, Sasuke awakened this eye during the Fourth Great Ninja War. After nearly dying in battle, he met Hagoromo's spirit. At that moment, Hagoromo gave Sasuke a portion of his power. That gift unlocked a new form of the Rinnegan, one that blended the might of the Nine Sharingan with the sacred chakra of the sage. Unlike traditional Rinnegan, Sasuke's eye only appeared in his left eye. It was violet, like all Rinnegan, but it held 6 black tomoe spaced evenly around its concentric rings. These tomoe weren't just decoration, they held power. Each tomoe represented a fragment of Mangekyou Sharingan, making Sasuke the only known shinobi to use Mangekyou abilities within a Rinnegan. Because of that, Sasuke retained his old powers. He could still cast Amaterasu, the black flames that never die, and use Susanoo in full form. No other Rinnegan user had ever done this. It gave him a massive edge in combat. Amino Tejikara, Sasuke's signature move. It let him swap positions with any object or person within a certain range. He didn't need hand signs. He didn't need to make eye contact. Just one thought, and he was gone. In battle, this was game-breaking. He could dodge attacks, escape traps, or land fatal blows by instantly switching places with weapons, debris, or even enemies. He once swapped himself with the sword midair, placing the blade directly into his opponent's back. No warning, no delay. Even high-speed fighters like Kinshiki or Momoshiki struggled to react. The speed was absolute. It wasn't teleportation. It was position exchange. Space-time, ninjutsu. Sasuke could open portals to entirely different dimensions, pocket realities, alternate spaces. Using this ability, he traveled to Kaguya's realms, pursued Otsutsuki invaders, and even helped rescue Naruto from a sealed prison. These portals weren't limitless. They required massive chakra, and the number of people who could enter at once was restricted. But even with limits, it gave him mobility that no other shinobi on Earth had. Not even the Flying Thunder God technique came close. While his Rinnegan was different, it still granted him access to the classic 6 paths techniques. He could push and pull targets with Deva Path-like gravity. He could absorb chakra mid-fight with Preta Path energy drain. When fighting foes with jutsu-heavy styles, this gave him a clear advantage. Though Sasuke rarely used animal summons or Asura-style modifications, he leaned heavily into the offensive powers. He combined his space-time control with brute force and strategy, making every move unpredictable. Sasuke's Rinnegan wasn't without weakness. When overused, the tomo in his eye would temporarily disappear. His vision would blur. Some techniques became unusable. This wasn't permanent, but the cooldown could cost him dearly in a prolonged fight. In early battles after gaining the eye, he was visibly strained. During his fight against Kinshiki and Momoshiki, he had to carefully manage chakra and only open portals when necessary. If he pushed too hard, his eye would bleed or shut down entirely. Later in life, Sasuke gained more control. His chakra reserves improved, but the eye still required caution. Too many Amino Tejikara swaps in a short time could burn through his energy, forcing him to fall back or retreat. Rinne Sharingan. If the regular Rinnegan is a weapon, the Rinne Sharingan is a curse. A god's eye born not from balance, but from greed. This eye belonged to Kaguya Otsutsuki. the mother of chakra and the origin of all shinobi bloodlines. Long before villages, clans, and wars, there was only Kaguya. She consumed the chakra fruit from the divine tree and awakened a power the world had never seen. On her forehead appeared an eye, not purple like the Rinnegan, but deep crimson, glowing with 9 tomo lined along concentric rings. This was the Rinne Sharingan, the prototype of all-powerful dojutsu. It's said to be the ancestor of both the Sharingan and Rinnegan, and it could do something no other eye ever could. Infinite Tsukuyomi. With this single eye, Kaguya cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, the most powerful genjutsu in history. By reflecting the Rinne Sharingan's light off the moon, she trapped the entire human population in an eternal dream. There was no escape, no resistance. Even the strongest shinobi, those with sage powers and tailed beasts, were caught instantly. Only those protected by the Rinnegan and Susanoo could survive. Everyone else fell, their bodies wrapped in the divine tree's roots, drained of chakra, and used to feed the 10 tails. The jutsu didn't just show illusions, it rewrote reality inside the victim's mind, giving them a false world where their deepest desires were fulfilled. Peace, love, forgiveness, power, anything they ever wanted. It was a dream too sweet to resist and too perfect to break. Dimensional shifting. Kaguya's eye could also open gateways to entire dimensions. These weren't just small pocket spaces like Sasuke's portals. They were full-scale realities with their own laws of time, space, and matter. She used them to trap enemies in volcanic worlds, frozen wastelands, acid lakes, or endless voids. Each realm served as a weapon, a battlefield, a prison. During her battle against Naruto and Sasuke, she shifted between dimensions at will. One second they were falling through gravityless space. The next, they were submerged in lava. Fighting her wasn't just about dodging attacks. It was about surviving the environment. The Rinne Sharingan wasn't built for battle. It was a symbol of domination. Kaguya never learned ninjutsu. She didn't need to. Her eye let her control space, time, and perception. Her enemies didn't fight her. They tried to survive her. That's why even Hagoromo and Hamura, her own sons, struggled to defeat her. It took the combined force of yin-yang chakra, the 6-path seal, and centuries of preparation to finally bring her down. Red Rinnegan. While others relied on raw power or precise plans, Urashiki fought like a gambler. He was chaotic, clever, and most of all, adaptive. His weapon of choice was a Rinnegan that didn't just grant abilities, it changed forms. At first glance, his eye looked like any other, a standard purple Rinnegan. But during battle, something strange would happen. The color would shift, depending on which ability he activated. Red, blue, back to purple. Each color meant something different. Each color unlocked a new threat. The red Rinnegan was Urashiki's trump card. With this form, he could jump through time. Not just seconds, but full moments into the past. He used this during his missions on Earth, especially when things didn't go his way. If he misjudged a fight, he could rewind time and redo it. Like a game save, this made him nearly impossible to pin down. Even if he lost, he could just try again. Urashiki once used this ability to go back years in the past, chasing Naruto and Boruto during their time travel mission. This wasn't limited to short-term tricks. It was full-scale temporal movement, something not even Kaguya or Momoshiki could do. But time travel comes with risks. Overuse of the red Rinnegan could destabilize the user or the timeline itself. Still, Urashiki didn't care. His goal was chaos. His Rinnegan made him a master of resets. Blue Rinnegan. Then came the Blue Rinnegan, a tactical powerhouse. This form let Urashiki glimpse a few seconds into the future. Not visions or dreams, actual visual information of what was about to happen. With it, he could counter attacks before they were launched, dodge moves he hadn't even seen yet, predict traps, outsmart taijutsu fighters, and bait enemies into attacking the wrong target. This wasn't a Sharingan-style read of body movements. This was literal foresight. He used this power to dominate unpredictable opponents. While fighting Boruto and Shinki, He stayed several steps ahead by adjusting mid-battle. Even when surprised, his blue Rinnegan gave him just enough time to adapt. What made Urashiki's Rinnegan unique was the mechanic. His eye was like a tool belt. He didn't unlock all powers at once. He switched between them, like choosing a weapon from a menu. The transformation wasn't just cosmetic, it was a signal. It told the viewer what kind of danger was coming next. No other Rinnegan in the series had this kind of modular design. While others focused on brute force or special techniques, Urashiki built his fighting style around adaptability. He never used the same strategy twice. Urashiki wasn't the strongest Otsutsuki. He wasn't the most disciplined, but he was one of the most dangerous. His color-changing Rinnegan gave him tools that broke the rules of shinobi combat. Time manipulation, future awareness, instant counters. The reason he lost wasn't because he lacked power. It was because he underestimated the unpredictability of humans. Boruto, a wild variable, threw off his calculations. Even foresight couldn't predict irrational will. Golden Rinnegan. Among the Otsutsuki, some conquer worlds, some rewrite reality. But Momoshiki Otsutsuki does something far more terrifying. He feeds on power. Unlike most Rinnegan users who wield the eye in their head, Momoshiki broke the rules. His Rinnegan appeared in the most unexpected place, the palms of his hands, one in the right hand, one in the left. And they weren't for seeing, they were for consuming. In their resting state, these eyes were purple, like any Rinnegan. But when activated, they glowed gold, signaling that Momoshiki had entered his absorbed form, stronger, faster, and more dangerous than ever before. Absorption and amplification. Momoshiki's fighting style was simple. He didn't need to create powerful jutsu. He just stole yours. With the Rinnegan in his right palm, he could absorb any ninjutsu, no matter how powerful. Giant Rasengans, elemental attacks, chakra-based weapons, all of them vanished into his hand like smoke. Then, using the Rinnegan in his left palm, he unleashed that same jutsu with massively increased power. It wasn't a counter, it was a multiplier. Your attack came back at you, twice as big and 10 times more destructive. In one battle, he absorbed a Rasengan, then launched it back so large it dwarfed the battlefield. There was no cooldown, no delay. Absorb, amplify, annihilate. That was his rhythm. Chakra fruit. Creation. Momoshiki could turn living chakra into pills or fruits, which he would then consume to increase his strength instantly. It didn't matter if the chakra came from an attack, a person, or a tailed beast. It all became fuel. After absorbing Kinshiki, his own partner, he evolved. His form changed. The Rinnegan in his hands turned gold, and a third eye opened on his forehead. He entered his godlike state, overflowing with stolen power. When Momoshiki's Rinnegan turned gold, it meant he had leveled up. He was no longer just absorbing jutsu. He was absorbing essence, raw power, knowledge, and abilities from those he consumed. His transformation after devouring Kinshiki marked a complete shift in power. He gained more speed, more chakra, and the ability to fight even the combined might of Naruto and Sasuke at their peak. It took the unpredictable teamwork of Boruto and the sacrifice of many to finally bring him down. By planting his karma seal onto Boruto, Momoshiki ensured that his spirit would live on. His eye may have closed, but his will remained, watching, waiting, growing inside the boy. Thanks for watching till the end. See ya.